Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning.
Man, 2026 is going to be absolutely insane with the 25th anniversary for Xbox already confirmed with Fable, Forza, Gears E-Day. I told you it's going to be 2026, Dave. I told you. And of course, the return of a classic, which means Halo. We are going to get Halo again next year. I am so excited. And obviously, then we've got the 2027 launch of the next hardware. Although I do wonder, are these actually going to start pushing over now towards, you know, is the Xbox hardware going to come a little earlier? Are they going to try and release the console as a handheld? But, you know, we can ignore all of that for the time being. What's important right now is, of course, just the sheer amount of games that has been shown at the showcase coming this year and next year. I think the cadence of Microsoft's release is absolutely insane. They've got the studios to do it, and the way they're actually doing it is phenomenal. I mean, my back catalog is getting bigger and bigger, and honestly, at this point, I don't even know if I've got time to play all of these games at the rate that Microsoft is releasing them. I don't even need to own another console. The rate that they're releasing the games that I'm playing is insane. And then you've got like games from PlayStation and Nintendo as well that I want to play. It's mind-blowing. But this event was phenomenal. And now they're talking about, I mean, they've already told you next year, the big games coming, the big 4 games, is Fable, Forza, Gears, and Halo. And I suspect that's going to be the cadence going forward for maybe 5 games every year. It's just phenomenal. The last 2 years has been crazy. Last year has, I mean, it was probably the craziest it went out. Like Aaron Greenberg said, they burnt the building down when it came to releases. This year they said to temper a little bit, and I do think that last year's presentation was better, but they announced hardware as well. This may not be the official Xbox handheld, but it's, you know, the software is where the key thing for this handheld is, and it's going to be awesome. It's all dependent on price though. If this comes out at $1,000, $1,200, it's going to be, you know, a hard sell. So I'm really hoping that Microsoft can subsidize that. But in terms of games, you had Madang, which was absolutely phenomenal. It looked great. You had so many Xbox first-party games. Indiana Jones's DLC got announced. I mean, it was just so good. There was a few kind of questionable games in there, but overall, when it came to the actual presentation, this was probably the best one out of the bunch. I'm not even going to say probably, it was the best one. The long-awaited Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy 16 have also landed on the, you know, on Xbox. Silksong is coming to Xbox at the end of this year, confirmed. It's launching alongside the, you know, Asus, well, the Xbox Ally, which is just crazy, right? I mean, we're not just talking about games that are landing day one by first-party studios, but we're looking at games via Game Pass that are actually landing from third-party studios, and these games could technically be argued to be second-party. I mean, as long as they're, I know they're not first-party, second-party, but they're day one on Game Pass. They're part of that subscription. I don't really care what people want to say. Game Pass as a service just continues to evolve, continues to get better, and I really don't know how they're managing to keep it at that that low price, but it's still worth it in every sense. I've probably played enough games this year alongside of my kids to have paid for about 3 years worth of Game Pass, maybe more. Just let that sink in. That's just this year, right, that I played. And then you're talking about the 2026 games for first party. Man, of course, Outer Worlds 2 information came out today as well. It's going to be priced at $80. Whether that's going to be a flat change around to £70 or £80 in the UK is unknown. Obviously, dollar signs gets announced always first. But Nintendo opened the floodgates and people are going to follow through. It's just the way it is. You know, if you want to blame someone for these pricings, blame Nintendo. But Sony will follow through with the same thing as well. It's just a matter of time until GTA decides to blow that bracket open again in such a short window. I really hope they don't. But even Dawnwalker looked absolutely awesome. You've got this game from Bandai Namco, which, the games just kept on coming. They kept on delivering, and I was very, very impressed. Like I said, I think this showcase was definitely the better of all of them. I think there was a couple of games here that kind of went wayward a little bit, kind of a bit too wacky at times. I could see they were trying that kind of Astrobot kind of game with the Super Meat Boy 3D. They kind of went down that route. I'll give it a try, see how it is, whether it's as good as that. The pacing overall was pretty decent, but man, when we're talking about game deliveries, they just keep on coming. And you know what? This showcase didn't even talk about Starfield, which is still coming this year. We saw Call of Duty at the end, Call of Duty 7, Black Ops 7, which was awesome. Day one Game Pass. There's probably going to be some Diablo updates as well. And there's probably some games to fill in, for the holiday. I mean, they're releasing the hardware as well, so they're probably going to want to release some games alongside it, not just Silksong, even though Silksong on its own is a pretty damn good game. So, we've still got Gamescom to arrive. The Game of the Year this year is going to be really interesting, considering Indiana Jones is definitely in the running for it from last year. But, man, did they deliver yet another stellar showcase? Yes, they did. And I, for one, am completely and utterly blown away by Microsoft yet again. At this point, I don't think Microsoft can miss fire. They are just doing everything right at the moment. And finally, with their release cadence in place, their showcases are just delivering. The games are delivering. I just think overall, with the way that they've gone, especially with this whole, ecosystem, has just been working really well for them. Ever since they bought ABK, they've changed strategy, been quite aggressive. But this whole play anywhere aspect of gaming is really, really good. And I'm really liking it. The showcase was fire. 9 out of 10 for me. Final Fantasy finally revealed. I can finally get that off my chest because I knew it was coming. You've probably seen my previous videos mocking people. This is the Super Meat Boy game that I was talking about. All in all, I'm impressed. I'm happy. And this was the best showcase that we've had this year, hands down. The PlayStation State of Play showcase was a really bad PlayStation first party showcase, but it was a pretty decent third party showcase. Summer Games Fest was pretty meh overall. The Future Games Show was just a disaster, barring a couple, maybe 1 or 2 games, not many. Overall, I think it did better than the PlayStation showcase overall, but this one over here it was just fire. It was just constant fire. And I can't wait to play some of these games. And this game looks like it's going to just piss me the right off. But hey, what can I say? Let me know what you think. 2026, Fable, Forza 6, Gears EA, and a new Halo. What more as an Xbox gamer could you possibly want? And to top it all off for this holiday, you're getting new hardware as well. What more could you possibly want? Yes, the waifu is amazing. Good on you, Platinum Games. Ninja Gaiden 4. Right, folks, that's it. That's the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and remain ninja.